So when we're designing a project, we have to really think about how do we operate as a retail center. So first we look at the size of the market and what is the population, what is the potential trade area that the new mall or redeveloped mall can cater to, and who are the big players in that market. Next, we look at the location of the competition. And there's lots of competition when you're in the retail business. It could be a neighborhood mall, a community mall, but let's sort of focus on the regional mall example here. And we need to plot where these regional malls are and how they're going to impact your potential trade area.
In business today, there are 3 words that you must always remember: competition, competition, competition. And you have to be better than your competitor to survive in this vast, ever-changing industry. You have to go the extra mile. The relationship is more important than the product or service, or shopping mall in this case, that you are selling. The relationship that you build is the key differentiator between you and your competition.
So I will start by saying the 5 biggest challenges facing property management today. And I'd say globally, not even regionally, but globally. And here they are. The first one I'd say is hiring and maintaining the highest quality staff. The quality of the staff can make or break the organization. That's why it's so important when we're going through times like this with the pandemic, that you want to make sure that you retain the very best people. I once heard it said, and it's a saying that stuck with me for many years, and that is that we as an organization, wherever you are, we never let the best ones go, because maintaining the highest quality staff is probably one of the most important things that you can do in an organization to make sure that you have the highest level of output from your team.
So, what can social media do for you as retailers? Well, here's the thing. We all know that customers go through a retail journey with different stages before you buy from them. And if social media is used correctly, it can help to increase your footfall, both in your physical stores and online sales. It can increase your brand loyalty, it can grow your brand presence, and also enable you to get real-time feedback. These are all things that retailers aspire for, and ultimately, social media can impact the customer journey in a positive way. So let's see how that customer journey plays out on social media. On the right is a study done by Sprout, and they have identified consumer behavior on social media. So for example, 87% of consumers will visit a website or app if they follow that brand on social media, and 78% will visit the actual store.
Efficient operations actually enhances the life of the asset, the mall as a whole. You look at it in a holistic manner. When you efficiently manage the operations of the mall, the hard services, the soft services, pest control, cleaning, all of this, it enhances the life of the asset. It gives it more life, and it gives it more time, to go through the cycles. It also reduces downtime. This is the most, let's say, essential part of operations, to always plan, to foresee if there are any issues coming up, and take preemptive steps to make sure that there are no disruption to operations, making sure that the maintenances are happening on time, the troubleshooting that's happening, there is problems that are foreseen. So these all things, when you do it efficiently, it reduces, the chance of having a downtime.
today's presentation, we will be discussing the post-COVID crisis and what we need to do in terms of hygiene and automation to help you reopen in terms of safety, efficiency, and customer reassurance. What are the challenges post-pandemic? How do we protect our guests? How do you protect your team? How do you improve efficiency? And how to make sure you comply with municipality guidelines. Although complying with municipality guidelines is point number 5, I would say it's actually the most important. These are the different points that we will be discussing briefly today in terms of high-level pointers, ensuring hygiene and safety, increased customer trust, and improving your efficiency. So if we start with the municipality guidelines, anyone looking to reopen their business should be really verifying every day with DED and the different government bodies on the new regulations.
We were fortunate 2 years ago when the University of Sharjah came to us and said, could you design food halls on the men's side of the campus, the women's side of the campus, and also for the medical campus as well too. Fairly significant project. It was about 5,000 square meters in total across the 3 buildings, seating probably nearly 2,000 people, serving up to as much as 15,000 to 20,000 meals a day. Significant project, not only the scale and capacity of it, because it's a big amount of sort of food and people to handle, but the buildings themselves. It's in 3 different buildings, 2 of which are quite poor state of repair. We really had to gut the entire thing. The floors, walls, ceilings, MEP lighting, everything. Stripped it right back to bare concrete, started all over again.
Talk about what kind of challenges you might experience every day in communication. I came up with 4, and you may have more for the list. First, building and keeping trust. How do you do that? We'll go over it. Second, understanding EQ. What is our emotional intelligence and why is that critical? Third, no communication plan. You may have a business plan or a strategic plan. Maybe you don't have a communication plan. And then fourth, critical conversations. How about those critical conversations that certainly happened pre-COVID? What happens to them now? I have 3 main areas that we'll cover when we talk about improving our ability to communicate. And by the way, you can use this same idea when you go into your team or leadership meetings. Come up with 3 things that are your major areas for your agenda.
Purpose is beyond profit. It's business beyond profit. Companies with brand purpose want to transform society through their work. They want the world to become more successful. They transcend consumer segment. They're not really focused on segmented audiences or certain regions or certain markets. It's much more universal. It's based on universal values that apply to everybody in the world. And they want to create and occupy a mental space that goes beyond what it is that they're producing at that moment.
This module is to allow you to assess the security in your premises. It starts with carrying out security assessments to the building, and then we'll go on to how to build a security plan. It's not a course to train you to be a security professional. It is a course to give you the tools and the knowledge to perform these functions, which can save you money. That means you're not going to wait for a security guarding company or a CCTV company to come into your premises or come to your operation and trying to sell you items that basically you might not need. It gives you a bit more knowledge where you can assess it before putting together an RFP or an operational plan for your business. This slide shows you just some of the problems that you might face in your business.
To focus on 3 areas. Then, the history of specialty leasing and what it means to you. Now, how specialty leasing has evolved. And the future. What will that look like? Specialty retail leasing, or also known as commercialization, is the shopping centre industry name for short-term leasing or temporary leasing of products within retail destinations, such as malls, mixed-use properties, theme parks, airports, or anywhere you can provide a retail offering. Interesting fact, specialty leasing programs in malls started in the late 70s, over 30 years ago.
Strength of Mag, the speed of transactions, focus on sale. What I mean by this is, today the world is moving at a very fast speed. We all are changing, our preferences are changing, our buying behaviors are changing. The moment you can create a convergence wherein your digital payments, your mobile applications, your physical stores all combined into an ecosystem which gives you the convergence and gives the speed of transaction, will be the concept which is able to crack this particular code, will be the winners in the future.